normal Wednesday. Get ready to play Jacksonville and do a good practice today. So go out there and try to have a good day.
These are both really young teams. What's, for you, the biggest challenge when you're dealing with such a young team?
I don't think of it like that. I think they're well coached. I think Coach Peterson has done a great job of going down there. They're playing really hard. They got good players. Each week there's a different way to play a game. That's where our focus is of trying to put together a good plan, going out having a good practice.
I mean more like dealing with a young player. Like for you, is it getting them ready? Is it getting them, their knowledge base up? Is it the speed?
Really starts from OTAs, particularly with rookies. You teach them how we want to do things here, not just inside the building, outside the building, and then you constantly build on what you teach them from the day before. They get experience as they go, and a guy like Bellinger, I think he's improved, since he's been here. He's been available, he's worked hard, he's done a good job inside and outside the building. But you also look, when you're evaluating players too, you look at skill set, but you look at intangibles as well to make sure they fit, what you want to try to build.
I know you didn't need to look closely at Trevor Warner.
Go ahead.
I know you didn't need to look closely at Trevor Lawrence coming out because you probably weren't going to be picking him. But from what you know of him from last year to how he's developed this year, what do you see?
Yeah, I know Trevor. I recruited him too, just the same year Justin came out in Cartersville, Georgia. Tremendous high school football player. I mean, you go down there and watch a practice, and he could play on Sundays when he's down there in high school. He was really, really talented. He's really talented now. I think he's doing a great job in Coach Peterson's offense. He's big, he can throw it accurately, he can move. They run him on some quarterback, not just keepers, but also quarterback designed runs too. So athletic, smart, he's a really good person too. He's going to be a good player in this league for a long time.
Brian, how have you felt about it? I'm sorry, go ahead. You.
Back in the summer, I think you and Joe talked about it would take a few weeks for this team's identity to crystallize. We're about 6 weeks in now to the season. Has this team's identity crystallized, and do you like the identity that's coming along?
I just say we work hard. We try to do what we need to do each week. Put the time, effort, and energy into our preparation, to our process, and then go out there and leave it on the field on Sunday, empty the tank, so to speak, and then come in and do it again the next week. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't really concentrate on things that have happened in the past. Focus on, turn the next page and focus on that page.
Brian, how have you felt about the way your offense, I know you don't care about outside grades and anything like that, but it doesn't get great grades from places like PFF, but how have you felt about the way your offensive line has performed so far this season?
I think they're like all the other spots. I think they've improved each week. Close group. I think they're tough. They're smart, and they've gotten better since they've been here.
Do you think they're better run blockers than pass blockers?
No, well, they're required to do both, so I got confidence in both areas of those guys.
They have high draft, obviously in their edge rushers. They got two really high.
Yeah.
First of all, what do you think of those two guys? And do you think that your tackles are capable of, you're in good shape there with those two guys?
Well, they're really good. Walker's the first pick of the draft, and Josh Allen is, he's a dynamic edge rusher. Has a knack for getting to the quarterback, being a ball disruptor. He can drop. He's a really good player. He's done a good job there for a while. And Trayvon, having seen him at Georgia, very stout on the edge, long. He's a good player. We'll have our work cut out for us.
You have young tackles. Andrew's not quite as young. You think they're...
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you seen Evan bounce back after that game against the Cowboys where he struggled a little bit?
Really like any player. I mean, you're not going to always have your best game. You're probably going to wish you could do things a little bit better. That's everybody, not just Evan. Come in, see what you can improve on, work hard to improve, and get ready to play the next week.
Did you the pre-draft process or the way that he handled? Because a game like that can break someone. It seemed like he just took it in stride and bounced back. Did you know he was that kind of a person when you were?
Yeah, you do a lot of work. Again, like I've said before, you're going to face a lot of adversity in this league. Whether you lose a game, you have a bad game, you have a bad play, you have a bad call, you make a poor decision as a head coach, you're going to have those things. That's just the way this league works. And our whole objective is to focus on the next play or the next series, and that's what we've preached since we've been here.
Brian, you've mentioned Bellinger. In what ways have you seen him develop the most since he's gotten here?
When you come out of college as a tight end, there's a lot. There is for every position, but there's a lot to learn. How we run block, how we pass block. I mean, we've asked him to do a lot of different things. We put a lot on his plate. I think he's picked it up well, and each game he gains more experience. He's far from a finished product. He'll be the first to say that, but not just to single out Daniel. There's a lot of our rookies I think are doing a good job right now of continuing to grow, improve, learning from their mistakes, and that's all you can ask for.
Staying on. Watch how this team handles success. We talked about this being a young team. Do you have to kind of guard against them being overconfident, or how they handle success here so far?
I'd say the biggest thing for us is just to be consistent with how we do things during the week. Whether it's after a loss, after a win, after a close win, after a big loss. It's such a week-to-week league. So our approach from a coaching staff and really from an organization is be as consistent as you can regardless of result if you're doing the things you need to do during the week. And that's my job, is to make sure we're trying to do that along with the coaches. And that's really where our focus is.
Brian, you got here.
You sometimes want to harness it even and use it to your advantage where, it can, sometimes you might play a team that on paper might be a little more talented, but if you guys have the confidence, it can close the gap.
I don't even think of it in terms of that. I just think let's go out there and do what we need to do for that week. Let's put the work in before it happens, and let's be ready to play on Sunday, whenever that is, or Monday or Thursday, whenever that is. Really, that's, no, it's not flashy, but that's what we believe in.
Brian, you got here in January. Free agency wasn't until March. So did you get to know through your FaceTimes at all or anything Evan Ingram? What did you think of him, and what did you think of him as a player?
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Evan. I think he's a talented player. He's got good speed. He's got good quickness. He was a good young man. It was just for a short time that I got a chance to talk to him, but I thought he was a good player.
Injury kind of updates. How's Tony and Galladay looking?
They will not practice today. You said Tony and Galladay, right? Yeah, they won't practice today. Getting better.
Tony Jefferson, or is it that Tony Kadarius? Tony.
No, Kadarius. Yeah.
Did Saquon's shoulder require any further MRIs or tests after this game?
Nope.
Any concern about him handling a full workload on it?
Nope.
Did Feliciano have any problem with his groin? Or he talked about it after the game.
Yeah, he will be limited today.
How about Andrew Thomas?
Andrew Thomas will limit him today. Go ahead. You can get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I was going to ask you about something else.
Oh.
So, Nick Yates, I know you got another week to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him so far? Is he close?
Getting closer. Yeah, I think he's had a good couple weeks of practice, or week, how many days has he been out there? However long he's been out there, I think he's made progress each and every day. Learning our system, it's different when you're practicing in a new system. You can sit in the classroom all you want, but I think he's made good progress.
How about Aziz and Cordell?
Aziz will be limited, and Cordell will not practice.
To activating those guys, or at least starting the clock on those guys in higher pup, how much is that based on where your roster is, or is it strictly if once the guy's healthy, you activate them?
I'd say there's conversations that take place. When the best time to do it. First of all, they got to be ready to go, and then where are you roster-wise with the players that you have on your roster? Those things all play into it.
Dave, is there a path for Landon at all?
Yeah, we'll give him some more reps this week. Again, like I said, he just got here, so we'll see how he is conditioning-wise. We'll see how he does with picking up the defense. He's been great. Glad we have him. We'll see where he's at. Again, I think putting someone out there early or when they're not ready, whether that's, and I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but I think you just got to be fair to the player and make sure that they feel comfortable with where they're at.
Couple more. Do you remain optimistic that Kadarius could return and become a part of what this team is doing this season?
I do. Yep.
Brian, when you
Is the injured reserve something you would consider at this point now with him?
No. Nope. He's getting better. He's doing a good job rehabbing, and hopefully we'll see him out here soon.
when you went back and looked over the film, what was wrong with the run? Well, I mean, not the run defense.
It's a tough scheme. I think they do a great job formatting things, motion, giving you different looks. Run defense takes all 11, so that's something that we'll work on this week.
One more. Coach, last one.
Your third down offense seems to be getting a little better each week.
Yep.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's collective effort with the coaching staff, with the designs, the calls, and then give the players credit. They're executing well. When players execute well, particularly in that situation, that's a big boost to keep maintaining the drives, keep possession of the ball. But I think the execution has been good.
Is that been the biggest difference from early in the season with just the execution scheme? Or
No, I think it's a combination of everything. I think, look, I've said this a lot of times coming off of a win or a loss. There's a lot of things we can get better at. That's certainly one of the things that we work hard on doing. It's a hard down. It's usually advantage defense, regardless of what the distance is that you need. And we got to all be dialed in, and it's collective. It's coaching, it's playing, it's everything. Just like most everything is.
Okay.